Hello, I'm Hannah Patterson, and today I'm talking to Chris Weale from Leicester City Football Club, obviously a goalkeeper, and Richard Cockerill, the boss of the Leicester Tigers. Well, that's what he thinks.
Sometimes.
But we're not going to talk about sport as so much today. We're talking about yoga, which is probably a bit strange considering these two are quite alpha male, but it's something that isn't just for girls, and I want to kind of ask these guys to tell their story about why they come to Bikram Yoga, really. So, Chris, let's start with you.
I came to Leicester and the physio recommended it to me, to be honest. He said it would be good for me. I've got back trouble, so for 2 years I've been doing it now.
Okay.
And it's great, I love it, and it helps on the pitch as well.
Okay, so you had a back injury, did you?
Yeah, I've got an issue with my discs, so yeah, it really helped my discs.
Okay, and so when you, how long into the yoga did you start to feel the effects of, you know, the healing?
I would say after my first class. The next day I woke up and thought, wow, I feel great. So I got the buzz then. Yeah, just after the first class.
Cool. And what about you, Richard?
I heard about it from a colleague at work who I took the mickey out of for several weeks.
Who was that?
Matt O'Connor, who's the assistant coach. Because at yoga, because blokes don't do yoga, and I spent all my life trying to be tough. And yoga didn't really fit my image, so I took the mickey out of him for several weeks, and then he said, come along and see what it's like. So I came along, and I just couldn't believe how hard it was, in the sense that the CV workout, that your heart rate gets up, and the feeling of after the session that you've actually, a bit like when you train, you know, when I train as a player, it's the feeling of, actually I've trained really hard, but without the pounding on my old body, and you know, I've got, a bit like Chris, I've got a bit of an old man's back from playing rugby and sore elbows and various things, but I found it fantastic and a really good workout without the stiffness and the achings of the joints, and just being able to do it, and just the benefit of being a little bit more flexible and, you know, not sort of getting out of bed in the morning and creaking every time I move. And so, you know, really good all round.
So that's the physical side of things. What about sort of mentally as well? Because obviously you've got to be really focused in your sports. Does it help kind of with your mental focus, or just even de-stressing, you know, after a game?
Yeah, for me being a goalkeeper, it's all about upstairs, and yeah, it's about balance. So this is a great balance for me, from the aggression of training and play. This is the balance. I'm a bit yin-yang, I like all that. So,
do you?
Yeah.
So you've heard about it before?
Yes, yeah, I've
heard about like the kind of, not the spiritual side of yoga, but the mental side of it, and how it's all about the connection between the mind and body and stuff.
I've been doing normal yoga before, and then this is just way more beneficial, both mentally and physically.
Yeah, that's like me as well. I suppose you get the complete workout, don't you? Like with the cardio side of things, but also, again, just chills you out and kind of recenters you, I suppose.
A bit deep, but I don't know about cardio.
Yeah, you can completely lost it. For me, just for, you know, being at work, doing the job that I do, it's pretty hectic family life as well. Just to come and have a couple of hours to yourself, just for me, the battle is my mind telling me I want to sit down now because it's too hot. Just that battle is for me is just as challenging as anything I've done before. So the whole spiritual thing is probably not my cup of tea, but the physical challenge and the mental challenge to just get through the exercise and actually feel good about what you're doing and try to be a little bit better than you were.
So let's talk about getting the boys down here for pre-season then. Why don't we have a joint or a big team rugby yoga session?
I'd happily do it.
I'd happily teach it.
Okay, well I'll set it up.
Awesome.
I'll bring the boys. I'll bring 40 blokes.
They will die. They will die, won't they?
Yeah, they'll think it's great for the first 30 seconds when they walk in and go, oh, she's all right. And then 30 seconds later they'll go, oh God, can we have a drink? No,
but that's the yoga though. Like you just can't think of anything else but what you're doing in there, because you just have to focus because it's just so physically demanding. What about the City boys then?
I wasn't here. 3 years ago they all came. Yeah, I think after about 5 minutes they were calling out. I think two managed the whole class, and the rest, just game over for the rest of the time.
Yeah. See, they're soft.
Yeah,
That's
but it's the mental discipline of it that I love as well.
Let's talk about diets and stuff, because you've recently lost quite a lot of weight on Weight Watchers,
yes.
haven't you? Which is brilliant and very inspiring for people that need to
sure.
to lose weight. So tell me, what got you into that, and why did you want to kind of, you know?
Well, I'd finished playing for 3 or 4 years, and I came back from holiday, and I was a little bit too heavy, really. So I decided to do something about it. And diet, really, especially we have it with our older players, is diet's probably the key thing. We all do enough exercise. It's actually what you eat that is the key. And I found doing Bikram, the heat obviously helps, which turns your appetite off a little bit. But just healthy lifestyle, I think, you know, hydrating, drinking lots of water, and actually encourages you to eat properly. And thus your weight is a little bit more constant.
But there is also, with the yoga postures, there is also a science behind it that with the yoga postures you are sort of regulating your blood sugar levels, also your metabolism. So that is actually a reason or a side effect why
I found that my body shape has changed a little bit. I might have a six-pack one day, but
I think you look great.
It'll be it might be a little while, but that's okay.
Chris, tell me about your kind of schedule at the minute, eating-wise and training. I mean, you're out of season at the minute, aren't you? But you're back next month. So do you kind of give yourself, I don't know, a few months off your training regime, or?
Yes, you do, but being an athlete and you know what's coming, you can't let yourself go that far. So maybe give yourself a week of eating rubbish. But then, to be honest, it is all about balance, and so coming to class is a good gauge of how you've been eating. Because if you've been eating rubbish, then you stay in class, you're going to do terrible, and you're going to train terribly. So it is all about eating right, but eating a balanced diet.
And I suppose when you look in the mirror, you can see exactly what you look like. There's no getting away from it, is there? If you put on a few pounds, you're faced with it. Not that you ever have, to be honest. Finally, your outlook on life in general. How did you get to where you are today? What sort of, I don't know, do you have an outlook on life or an affirmation?
Yeah, not really. Just be yourself. I mean, you know, I'm interested in things I'm interested in. I want to be good at those things, and don't try and be somebody else. Do what you do. You know, behave how you think it should, and deal with things how you think they should be dealt with. And by and large, that's served me okay. It's got me in trouble some of the time, but that's life.
Chris?
Set goals, have a plan, and then put that plan into action, I'd say. And they're always adaptable all the time. So.
And do Bikram Yoga.
Yeah, Bikram Yoga.